Nah, man's the best striker in the league.
I mean, a rude boy
In the league.
In the league, for sure. Ronaldo, yeah, based off form, based off history, you can't argue with his.
Not history, we're talking about today.
Today.
It's about today.
History.
Yeah. Hey, he's the best player in the KPL then. Relax, fam. Look at the history. Let's talk about today.
Yeah, but he's...
Hey guys, welcome to Box Game Week 5. I'm here with the crew.
It's us. It's us.
It's just us.
It's just us. That guy from Milan, he's still in Milan. He's still in Milan. He's looking for waiters. He's looking for waiters in Milan. That's why he's late. No, and he's just across here.
He's just across.
He's just across.
Anyway,
He's
for the people who know the story, Kerry is not feeling well.
Shit.
Life's tough, huh?
Because
self-inflicted injuries, you know.
or maybe you're suspended again and
Yeah,
you never
you
know.
never know, man.
10 yellow cards.
It's basically like Xhaka or Ramos of this
suspension.
podcast.
You know, Xhaka is not supposed to come back for the London derby. And that's a story for another.
Who is forcing him?
segment.
Who is forcing him?
he's-
Who? Why are you saying
No,
it's big force? It's not big
Because
force.
his 3-game ban ends in whatever, EFL Cup.
So you'll play for Tottenham, for
He
Arsenal.
used to play for, I guess.
You happy about that, eh?
No.
He can't play.
No, please.
Anyway.
if you're listening, Mikael, please don't do it.
Relax. Game week 5. Game of the weekend. Tottenham versus Chelsea.
Yeah.
You guys watched the game?
Yeah.
I did, but I saw extended highlights. I was also a bit of
Whatever you saw in the highlights, what was happening in the whole game.
the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw it was about Spurs. Wow, they're terrible.
But funny enough, they really started, they were very lively
Exactly.
when they started, especially going forward.
Even
I'm
Arsenal
saying-
is lively.
No. Arsenal is always lively, and then that the whole season. At least we've started games like apart from the City game.
Yeah.
At least we've started several games with some energy, right? Spurs last game dead. The other game dead. Like only the Pacos Ferreira game when they were about to get knocked out from qualifying for the Conference League is when they showed some energy. Anyway, so this weekend they the way they started with a lot of energy, and I was like, wow, Nuno is doing something. Yeah, this guy is on his back. The energy is there, right? Everyone is in the D. 75 people in the D, running back, tracking.
You want to start drafting those Spurs players for your FPL?
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. You're like, hey, today
I
is
had
gonna-
Kane.
This guy really wants to get Harry Kane.
I had Kane in last game week.
No, I'm not getting Kane until he scores. He has to do something before
Yeah.
I get it. Anyway, yeah, so I thought they started really well, and then halftime reached, and then I was watching expressions, like you say, he went and told them at halftime, guys, let's lose this game, let's look for ways we can lose this game.
Please, don't work hard.
In the second half, these guys couldn't create anything. Even on Microsoft Excel, they can't create a new document.
Leave expressions.
Expressions.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
no, that guy has all the buns. He once said Hugo Lloris couldn't catch an STD bear back into Amsterdam. I was like, and then Wanyama one. It was like Wanyama's got no knees, fam. Just like sized ankles, no knees. Oh man, it's funny.
Yeah, Tana, so what do you think? What do you think about the game? How do you think about Spurs?
I think first half they actually dominated. I was actually quite surprised. They were pressing these guys. In terms of ball movement, it looked quite good, didn't it? Like Romero can play out from the back. He just got comfortable with the ball. Emerson Royal was actually he didn't look like a fraud. He didn't look like he did
In the first half.
In the first half, he didn't look like a fraud. So I was oh okay. I actually thought these guys were gonna win. Like I was thinking, whoa, these guys are coming with fire. Son looked like he was playing up top.
Yeah.
And I thought Nuno actually got these guys to play football. But then N'Golo came on. And it was GG.
Yeah.
It was GG.
Man. That guy came on at halftime. I'm sure he was told, "Yo, go cut that shit."
They told him,
Five legs.
listen, bro, you're gonna play striker and CDM. You're gonna do that thing.
I love how that man plays, man. Just the energy, the commitment to just what he does is fantastic. That guy, imagine playing alongside him, it'd be crazy.
You just don't do anything.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything, man. Just breezing.
Kovacic and who else was playing?
Jorginho.
Jorginho looked like.
Look like ballers.
Hey, European Player of the Year, man. Shit, put some
Player of the year,
respect.
not even. But Kante
Put
is
some
defender of the year.
respect. Put some respect on his name, fam. Just can't be talking that
Anyway,
way.
yeah.
He scored 8
So-
penalties.
Eight penalties.
Yeah,
Nice,
man. Shit.
So I think I'm also convinced that Lucas Moura is Nuno's kid.
Is his godson?
Yeah.
Oh, is his love child?
That boy is always a bit. All right, so after seeing that performance, what do you think was the difference?
Yeah, what made the difference between the two teams?
I think obviously when Kante comes on and he's feeling ready for one half and Spurs have done all that pressing, I think at that point Chelsea's gonna run the midfield, you know. He's doing all the running for Jorginho, Kovacic as a ball carrier is already elite. So now you've got the perfect combination of players and you need someone to transition the ball. So the problem with Chelsea is now
They kept the same formation or they kind of switched around?
They set him to build actually.
Yeah, no, he's doing Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
Oh, Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, no, they kept the same formation. I think they altered. I think
Who
instead of a front three,
put in goal come for?
Mount.
Mount.
I think they played with Havertz and Lukaku.
But it's also smart. Like
Like a
Mount
3-5-2.
started in the Champions League, yeah. But that squad is big enough for them to rotate at halftime.
Exactly. Like Saul was in the squad.
Magic.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think someone transitioning.
No, someone was.
He was in the squad?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
I'm making another Champions League game. Anyway, I saw his name somewhere.
but yeah, no, I think that was the difference for me.
So, Biko, do you think what Spurs hopes this season? Top 4? Top 6?
Conference Cup. We'll be there again next year, for sure.
Top 7? 7.
Yeah, it's Hurricanes' closest chance to a trophy. I'm gunning for it.
So that's the World Cup.
No, that'll be coming.
Mourinho's coming.
Yeah, we can invite him to Emirates. I mean, if Hurricane is not careful, he'll go to Italy, he'll go to Roma. He's not
He
careful.
can't move that.
He's not careful. He'll go to Inter.
Yeah.
He'll go to Inter, then he'll come back to Chelsea for 300
You
million.
think he'll bring Zeki? He's not.
You guys are actually running off carry. There is like Zeko is going to score 40 goals. My agenda. But I actually think like there's just a difference in quality of players. Like I think that just showed in the second half. Once you get tired from pressing and think about the kind of goals like Chelsea scored. The squad is so robust because they scored from what? Set piece. Yeah. I mean, Dave, man. See, which defender's been in a rap song, bro? Ramos had to write his own raps. Nobody was making raps about Ramos, and that guy's won Champions League, fam. You know, 4 times.
All right, so yesterday Mark Noble broke my heart. Like insanely, like broke it. Also, do you think it was a penalty? The show.
I think it's a penalty.
And how many penalties do you think Ronaldo was supposed to get?
Ronaldo's supposed to get 2 penalties. I think that ref is a fraud. I think
but you can only
Martin Atkinson needs to retire.
You can only use
Go to Saudi.
senior citizen privilege for so long.
Which means did you see you were showering 20-year-olds, you was gassing them up, and then they decided let's just kick him.
No, but this one was definitely a foul.
That was a
I cannot
So,
believe.
you see,
I actually can't
defend
believe
that.
VAR. I mean, I would not like to say it, but I can't believe VAR looked at that and was just like, "Fuck this guy." There's no literally. Fuck it. Yeah, that's it.
What that ref saw from? I don't know what he saw.
I don't know what you saw. Yeah, I cannot
I
believe
don't
it.
understand.
And then defenders are so amazing. Like a guy
But you know
would
the
foul
thing
you
is-
and be like,
The thing is, I think had Ronaldo not whined.
Yeah.
Like,
You would have been given a
he was not.
penalty.
He turned and just like, look at the ref doing this.
Yeah.
He flops the ground.
But regardless of whether he whined or not, VAR should have.
I know.
looked
I
at
agree.
anyway.
I agree.
Objectively,
But-
yes.
but
the ref, the refs is
Martin Atkinson was just like,
yeah.
nah, I'm not falling for your shit.
Shit, yeah.
Then afterwards, he was never going to get there.
That was going to get the other two.
But yeah, no, but deserved win, isn't it?
Actually, no. I really want to talk about his goal. Like, there was just something about his movement. Like, he knew. You know when you watch VAR and you're like, you can see, oh, my hand is up. Let me move it back.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. It felt like he just saw like, no, let me pull back a bit.
No,
At the moment that thing was about to be crossed, he took off.
And his movement just to put himself in that position, the initial finish, I mean, it was a bit casual because that's why Fabianski got the save, so to speak.
But
His movement was
he was
so
quick enough
spectacular. Yeah.
to get a shot and
Get a rebound. And that's what I'm
without
saying.
anyone being around.
Like his movement was amazing. Like it's like prime people in Zaghi. You know, somebody who knows how to be in that 6-yard box, regardless of where there are people. Whether there are other people there
what
with
has been
him.
his average distance from goal?
This season, it's probably been like
3 meters.
3 like edge of the deep.
Newcastle's second goal was from
Was
one side,
from-
yeah?
No,
Not outside,
no,
still
no,
inside.
It was
but-
inside,
Right
but
outside
it's like
the
when
chicken
he,
But that's the only one.
Yeah,
Right
that's
outside
something else
the
that's been happened. But he's getting.
Hey,
no
bro,
one else getting there.
that is sharp. Yeah, I'm for it, man. I'm like, yeah, get there, banging those goals.
Exactly.
Rude boy.
Rude boy. You know, chew and all that shit.
Rude boy.
Rude boy. Says not care.
Now, man's the best striker in the league.
I mean, a rude boy
in the league.
In the league, for sure. Ronaldo, yeah, based off form, based off history, you can't argue with it.
Not history, we're talking about today.
Today.
What's about today?
History,
where? He's the best player in the KPL then. Look at the history, let's talk about today.
Yeah, but he's the best knight in the league, isn't he? He's in the best form out of all the strikers in the league. Not named Antonio, maybe. So I think he's gonna fire us too.
Do West Ham win that game with Antonio?
No.
Yes, I think so.
They don't. They had what, 38% of the ball.
But that's all.
That's how they play.
That's how they play.
Because I feel like the one thing Antonio always gives them is just random energy from nowhere.
And the physicality
So
for bowling.
the fact that now Bowen had to do that, Bowen is more of like a legs taking on player. And it's like he's not the girl who makes.
It's like almost like a
so they're
false
trying to
nine.
like share it with Vlasic, but Vlasic
wasn't working.
I mean, they pressured you for like maybe 18 minutes of the game, right?
Yeah.
But that was their game plan. They were not there to dominate. But I feel like I'm not saying that I've won. Maybe they'd have gotten just like 2 or 3 more chances, and you never know.
Especially because of that dynamic of throwing something random and different. Think about like when you have a big forward up there harassing defenders. It gives these little guys like Ben Rama and even Bowen.
For me, when I knew the worst time I've lost the game is when Yarmolenko came on, to be honest.
You don't rate him?
No, like a West Ham forward, like David Moyes' team is based on a forward which just runs. Either you're powerful or you're quick, right? You need one of those two things. Yarmolenko is the complete opposite. He's almost like an Arnautovic when they go play Burnley away, right? Where you need someone who's just going to be physical and just bully Chris Wood type of striker. He just went and just like, vibes. That's all.
He won the penalty.
Well,
yeah.
And then Mark Noble just showed us.
Bottled it. He's just absolutely bottled it.
that was the guy's first save since 2014.
Yeah,
2011.
How many 40 penalties?
It's fine. He saves this one. It's okay. I'm not complaining.
So do you think that Euro argument, Biko, that Euro argument of like bringing a guy off the bench is not warm? That's why you missed the penalty. Do you believe that?
No, that's bullshit, man. You're being paid £100,000 plus a week. My friend, you should be sweating when you're sitting on that bench. There's nothing else. This is your job. I don't think it's a fair enough argument. And also, McNoble has always been the set piece taker. So,
but the argument is McNoble has not missed a penalty in ages. And the guy hasn't saved a penalty in ages.
I mean, also missing happens to the best of guys. Like, everybody misses at some point.
Mark Noble missed the penalty. The last penalty he took before this one, he missed it.
When was that?
It was when Lingard was still there last season.
Still ages.
I mean, we only hear Mark Noble's name when he's taking penalties.
He doesn't even start.
Yeah, exactly. And so, for somebody who maybe like that's your specialty, of course, there's that higher threshold, but I think guys miss.
But I also think it's one of those things, it's like a song thing, right? Because he did announce at the beginning of the season that this is his last.
But I would say it's all about context. I understand. I don't think Moyes brought him on because he was feeling bad and he wants him to score. I think he was looking at his options, and West Ham had missed 4 of the last 5 penalties.
Declan Rice, bro.
Declan Rice was there. He clearly didn't
Declan
trust
Rice,
him.
England captain, in waiting.
I think I don't mind the decision. I'm of the belief I'm with Biko. If you take a penalty, you should be able to take a penalty cold. I've gone to training, taking penalties cold. You can put them top corner. I think he's just taken a bad penalty. Same with the Euros. They've just taken bad penalties.
It happens. It has nothing.
But the Euros, it happened twice, right? That happened to 2 English players.
It happened to 3 English players.
Oh,
2 English players. Was Saka started? It was
No,
Rashford and
Saka
Jay.
started. Saka came on and said
They came,
something.
but I think that's just bad. I think it's just one of those things.
Also, if you think about it physically, think about saying that you've been running around for 45 minutes and that makes you better at taking this. I don't think so. You're more tired, you're more fatigued, you're more likely not to find the edges of the post because you're tired, right? You've been running, you're playing into the 95th minute. A guy who's fresh is more likely to score. You can just juggle the ball a bit and be like, you know what, I've got 1 shot to make and then that's it.
And I mean, that whole point about them not having touched the ball, at half time the substitutes are on the field warming up anyway. So I mean, I could argue that actually he'd keep the ball around for a good 15-20 minutes before he took that penalty. So.
Alright, so deserved win?
Deserved win, of course. But we had double the possession, we had like 10 shots on target, 17 shots over, we had 11 corners there, like 1.
What do you think about Lingard? Making amends for
yeah.
Messi. Lingard is back, bro.
Messi off.
Messi Lingard, bro. Did you see that deft turn in? You know, a bit of a dribble, shimmy, drop the shoulder.
You know what?
Find the corner.
You know what? I said I'd say this. I'm happy that we won, but I'm Ollie out, right? Tuesday, was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
That was a catastrophe. What are we doing? And then this
Okay,
guy.
but the pitch, but let's be honest, actually.
Yeah, it was the pitch.
We've sidetracked. No, the pitch wasn't really fun for you guys, man. It was like Valley Arcade Arena 1,000.
Like you're getting paid.
literally.
You're Ronaldo. You're not Ronaldo. You're Pogba. And these guys. You're getting paid 200k. You're gonna tell me the pitch sucks? I don't care.
True, but
this time Pogba was taken off, right?
Yeah, true.
How? I mean, Brady sucks.
I think
it's
it
going to
sucks.
be a weekly segment.
Yeah,
Brady
all his songs.
Ollie, mate. No, his subs are good. I mean, you can't argue with subs at work. Matic played the pass to Lingard and Lingard scored. So I'm not gonna be like his sub.
Messi Lingard, bro.
You know, I don't like his team selection in terms of the midfield. This McFred thing needs to stop. Like, this is not McDonald's Fred the Red thing. What are we doing? Like, he thinks like. So I think he goes to McFred when he's afraid like the midfield's gonna get outworked. But I think we can outplay them with Van der Beek, and then you put in Matic. I think you can outplay teams. So I think his team selection is dodgy. I'm Ollie out, but there's nothing I can do about it. So like I'm just gonna keep screaming.
Buy a season ticket, bro. Buy a season ticket.
Yeah, for sure I'm gonna spend my money on that. God, for sure, yeah, to watch my friend Max
yeah.
Sauce, Scotty T play. No way.
Max Sauce is a man, fam.
Max Sauce, bro.
Yeah. All right, so Liverpool won 3-0,
Yeah.
and City 1-0. Oh,
Southampton 1-0
against City. Okay.
Man, fuck.
Where do we start? Liverpool.
Livramento. Oh, sorry, shit.
So let's go City first.
Let's go City first.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about? Are you happy first of all that you don't have Torres in your team?
Not only am I glad I have no City players in my team, yeah, but I'm also like fucking pissed. Make sure you put the blip. Because the Watford player I had on the bench actually scored.
Yeah.
And then also I saw Musa Sissoko behave like Sissoko during the Watford game.
Yeah.
I swear. He just kicked the grass. Like I've never seen such a misplaced pass my whole life. It's like he was roasting maize in there. I have no clue. Dennis Scott broke my heart. He's on the bench with 6 points. Livramento at least gave me points.
You said Livramento.
No, I was on the bench, but you know, all my defenders, all my premium defenders, they didn't show
They didn't feel
up.
like playing.
Trent was like, fuck it, man. Reece James was like, did you see Alonso? Fucking Alonso looks like Prime Henry.
Yeah.
He was in the fucking box. My FPL is so messy. Yeah.
You digressed. We're talking
Yeah,
about so City, Southampton. Yeah.
They're done. They're going to come number 3. They will win the FA Cup. I said it.
Sorry? How many shots on target do they have?
They had one shot at target.
I'm telling you, they're going to finish third or fourth. That lack of a striker, people are ready.
To be honest, that game was a 5 p.m. game, right? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, yeah.
I didn't watch it either.
Like 5 p.m. But dude, at some point, I had to tune in because I'm like, what is happening? Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was. I didn't even watch the highlights. I saw 0-0 and I was like,
No goals, fuck it.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. But statistically, yeah, it didn't look great. From what I saw from the analysts, they were saying City need a striker. Like,
I think, do you think they're going to survive with that no striker thing
No.
this season?
I think they're gonna do. You know, I think it was 2014-15 when they had like Jovetic and Negredo, and then they were like, hey, should we need a striker? And they went and bought Body. I think they're gonna do something like that in January.
We can give them Braithwaite. Very experienced. Barcelona player, man.
They'll go
De
there.
Jong, yeah.
And
But you know, even a De Jong in City will do well.
He'll score.
He'll score.
That's the thing, he'll score.
Alright, so and then actually just to rewind, when did you guys see the lineups? When the lineup came, what do you guys every time you see a City lineup now, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Grealish is playing because he's 100 mil, and I'm thinking KDB if he's fit he's playing, and I think the rest of the team
Cancelo left.
can, yeah.
Bro, I have a better chance of me being in the City team than knowing who will be there. I have no clue what this guy will do. I'm giving up. You can pay 6 million for Cancelo and then find he's starting some kid from the academy. Like how Simicas played this weekend.
Actually, this is an interesting conversation about. We had this conversation about the false nine, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about a false nine in a low block? Like playing false nine against a low block. Like, what do you guys think?
It depends who your false nine is.
Yeah, that's it.
If you've got Messi as your false nine in a low block,
You're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Yes, we saw Barcelona. If you've got someone like, let's say, Man United played Jesse Lingard as a false nine, I don't think that works. So it's all.
Or Sterling.
Yeah, it's Sterling. I don't think Sterling works as a false nine. I think he's better off drifting. I think you start KDB as a false nine. It's about how
They've
technical
done that before.
with KDB, and it worked last season. They were doing it.
Do you think now we've officially stopped Gabriel Jesus, calling Gabriel Jesus a striker?
Yeah.
No, he's a left back striker running in from the base of midfield, reincarnating the inner Kimmich from Bayern 2014. That's literally, we don't know anymore. I've forgotten football.
And Southampton had more shots. They had more shots on target than City.
It's who scores, bro.
Yeah.
That team didn't score.
But there should have been a penalty. How was
Oh yeah, Kyle Walker was red carded.
How Walker
Was red carded and then
being red carded.
and then
Wiped
it
Adam
was-
Armstrong.
it
He
was-
wiped him.
Actually, VAR did some very dope things this weekend. Did some very
he
stupid
did
things.
some shady
They
things.
turned like our decision against Burnley, which was, I mean, we were okay with that, right? But if this was last season,
corruption.
no, it's true because he got the whole ball. Ramsdale got the whole ball.
Okay,
right?
it's
He got the ball and
He
went
took
in.
the ball. He took the
Yeah,
ball. He took the ball.
the Walker one really makes sense. But
I mean, they also made a good decision with Ivan Toney in the Brentford game.
I
When
stopped
he-
watching that game.
when
The moment I removed him from it,
When,
then he
first
does
of all,
this.
let's actually talk about how Marcel he thinks he's playing WWE here instead of fucking football. You know, I was watching the first corner and I was looking at this guy,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
look at the ball. Like he
Yeah.
was literally trying to make out with Ivan
Yeah,
Toney.
yeah.
I was like, this guy's gonna get a pen.
South America.
I got one.
No, then he got
Then
one. He got one thrice, and then he still did the same shit, and he was looking shocked, like, oh my god, a penalty. Oh shit, we're playing
And
the wrong
this is Tony.
sport.
Tony has not been on form. Like Tony
Yeah.
has not been really. I mean, I guess that's the game plan. Maybe that's how they were planning on like.
No, but like, why is he playing like Martin Scuttle and there's no VAR?
That's the problem.
Like I don't get it. Like you know their cameras, bro.
That's
Like,
the problem.
like you know their cameras.
That's what happens.
Or does he think he's
Adam
playing in his
Ashore is
neighborhood?
your teammate.
You think he thinks he's
That's
playing at
under my
home?
influence, bro.
Does he think he's playing in the estate? He thinks he's playing in the estate here with his homies. So he can do what he wants. The ball is his. If you don't play like him, he'll go home.
Anyway, I think we are just going
I've
back.
subbed him out. Imagine if
I-
I'd kept an Arsenal defender. I would have won 5 points.
How many times I tell you about Arsenal? The next 7 weeks.
It was lucky. That's
you
clean sheet.
just-
Bro, I've told you this for the next 6 game weeks. You need an Arsenal defender and a striker.
No, I'll get one.
Yeah.
But Ben White looked dodgy this weekend.
And you still got bonus.
He looked
That
Did you
pass.
get bonus or not?
he looked
Did
dodgy.
you get bonus or not?
Yeah.
You care about fantasy or at this point.
I care about football first.
Yeah.
And looking dodgy is worse than fantasy. I am so sorry.
Don't worry, it was one game. It was one game. And then Liverpool, so Liverpool played as well.
Sadio Mane.
They won 3-0. But you
Carry him, man. Carry him.
Who's
Sadio,
Sadio
man.
for you, huh?
100 goals for Liverpool.
100 goals for Liverpool.
Number
How
10
many?
at 100.
Exactly. You still want to trade him for whoever? Who was he saying?
Our young man Kante also
Mbappe.
scored.
that goal.
It was a dope goal.
But did you guys watch like the press conference after, or every person was being interviewed? They're like, "Those are very tough 3-0 win." Every single one of them. Salah said no, Mane said the same, and Klopp said the same. Do you think like coaches like before we just go talk to the media, yo guys, let's go say this.
I know, but you know, sometimes you have to because there's also language barrier. If you let a guy go say what he wants, and then you know, there are some teammates who you know they're not the sharpest
You
cookies.
remember?
Yeah. You're the Senegalese guy. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Bro, you gotta say this shit, bro. Language barrier, fam. I mean, it's just
Speaking of language barrier, I have actually remembered the fact this thing. You remember when you were listening to Pep trying to explain?
oh yeah,
The thing about the fans.
Yeah.
And then he was trying to explain it, and bro, he went like he was speaking in Spanish, right? But he was speaking it to us.
It reminds me of how some guys used to write English in high school with Kiswahili compositions, basically.
Yeah.
You just write it in English in your head, then you translate word for word. That's literally how he was giving that speech, bro.
And yeah, Konate made his debut as well. You guys think about Konate?
I honestly don't think. I didn't see anything that made me think, wow, like he's amazing, which probably is a good thing. I mean, if you're not being noticeably bad, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
That's when you know the defenders and they shit, you know. So I rate Kanté. Kanté probably played well. I didn't like that's how you know Maguire. You know Maguire. That's first 5 minutes. Just drilling them. That's how the most bad.
Bro, I know the whole Arsenal defense. Like, even middle names.
That's how you know them. You know. But
Shout out Mustafi, man. World Cup winner.
Skodran.
He's at Levante now.
He is.
Did you get relegated?
It was Schalke. He went to the.
Was it Zeni at Schalke as well? Kolasinac.
That's when they got relegated.
They just said they go back to your team.
Bro, imagine playing Division 2 with some places country like Germany, bro. Nobody can't You don't even have sponsorship anymore. Them start wearing boots from 3 years ago. Playing. Them start wearing
Oh,
boots.
Champions League game was just playing.
Boots from 3 years ago. Those are the sort of boots you're getting. Even the songs,
Yeah,
Umbro. Dora and Umbro. You can't see Nike. You can't see like fam. Nike you will see again. Forget it.
Yeah. But no, Kanté was good, I assume.
I didn't see anything, so.
And our good friend predicted that Magic would get injured. It was a bit too soon.
And he got injured.
Yeah, so curious some gentlemen could just talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's standard Magic. It's like Xhaka fam, you know? Xhaka will have one good game every 5 games.
And then you end Arsenal fans will be like, Xabi Alonso!
Yeah, Xabi Alonso! Nothing.
The problem with Xhaka never gets it.
That's the problem.
He gets red carded.
That's what really issues games.
Yeah.
Two suspensions. That guy never gets it. That guy is actually the features.
But we talked about this. You remember what we said? There are players who know that their strength is not on the field, so it's in the dressing room.
Yeah.
They are politicians. Xhaka, Musa Sissoko. Like you see them in lineups and you're like, how did you make it here?
Lucas Moura.
No, you know you have to have a guy also for
Lucas in the flesh, bro. Even Dombele spoke his way to that team.
And Danny Rose.
Daniel.
I'm going to say Daniel. Look now.
You watch. That's a whole story, though. Alright.
Wait, we still haven't spoken about me. Okay.
Yeah, in other news, like in other football related, not news, but other football stuff, right? Your boy Messi.
I think it was the first time in his life he was getting subbed.
He was shocked.
He was wondering, like the game doesn't end this early, bro. But yeah, it's like it's different. And then also, you know, he's not used to being number 30. It's been like a decade plus. So he was looking around the pitch for number 30. It's like, can one of these kids get out, bro? And then the guy's like, no, it's you. It's like, it's alright, man. He's like, nah, G, nah.
He even refuses to holler too.
You know, it's this thing for when you come from the same home ground. You probably told him something in Spanish, you were like,
Nah, G, you see, you know what we used to say, Ronaldo? We said Messi must go to a new league. We'll see what happens. This guy went.
new league.
He went to. Are we gonna call Liga a league? Eh?
Big cool. It's not a league, bro.
Uber Eats, bro.
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, you put PS5.
You don't shit here.
Nah, G. Nah, but I think.
What? You think he played badly? Did you watch the highlights? Did you think he actually played badly?
No. I was actually about to compliment your boy. You want me? I don't talk shit. But I think the reality is it's news because it's Messi. Yeah. But the reality is the substitutions worked. Yeah. And that's what people are saying. Oh, Messi came off, and I would never take Messi off. You have to be. I mean, Pochettino is a good coach, but to have the the gustos to take Messi off,
the testicular fortitude.
But what I would say is I think it works like. I look at Oli and Ronaldo. Pochettino and Messi know each other. They played together when they were in Argentina. So I think it's one of those.
But Ronaldo's also coming back home. Yeah. There's that factor.
But Oli and Ronaldo know each other personally, and Pochettino knows Messi personally. I think it helps. Obviously, he wasn't happy. Yeah. But Icardi came on and he scored. Hakimi came and assisted. So I think
Mbappe assisted.
Mbappe, sorry, but Hakimi made an impact. I assume. I watched the highlights.
Actually, from the Champions League, I realized that boy needs to learn how to pass the ball. He's playing like Bellerin, Hakimi. We're watching it with this guy. He's playing like Bellerin. All the pace.
Speaking of Bellerin is killing it in Spain.
Yeah, man, he got an assist.
He got an assist back yesterday. Some kid came on for they playing Espanyol. I think some kid was rinsing him at some point. So we gave it. I was just like, yo.
You know, I actually can't believe we never sold this guy to Barcelona. We could have made some good co-op.
And that time.
But he was on property then, wasn't he?
No, he was just fast. They still knew he couldn't defend for us.
That was the Cleveland 5. I don't think he can even go.
The golden generation of Arsenal.
Yeah.
The Emirates Cup team. Bellerin, Sanogo.
Bellerin has more FA Cups than Oli, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
would you rather Bellerin or Oli?
Bellerin, any day.
Which one? The manager or the player?
Both, even Bellerin as the manager. I'll take Bellerin as the manager.
He's Spanish, bro.
He's Spanish. Marketing money with this fashion thing.
Yeah, you know.
Bellerin.
Yeah.
Oh, and cleaning the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Cleaning the ocean.
Okay, you're gonna fashion model on the pitch then.
Yeah, dude. You gotta sell t-shirts, fam. We're not winning trophies, fam. We've got to sell something. New audiences. World Cup for 2 years.
Sweet. Alright. Cut.
Sounds sweet.
That's all I'm bringing this episode.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about that sport with the microphones. That one. NFL, football, only in America.
The helmet.
Yeah, with the helmets. Yeah, that one. I actually watched some football this past. I just saw some guys with that. With like
I was going to say Nagelsmann said that his players also.
Yeah, Nagelsmann said actually he wants his players to.
He's stupid. No.
No, but he was like, football should also get technology. What do you guys actually think about that?
Those people who say that are the ones who want World Cup every 2 years.
Exactly.
Hey, come on, man. But imagine trying to talk to somebody like Fred.
What are you
Schalke.
No. There's people you can have those things in the ears, bro.
Nah, it doesn't work.
Then people like, and there's some people, you don't know which game we're watching where I note for big pass like this.
Yeah.
Champions League game. Whether you wrote a note and then like drop all this.
A friend of mine was telling me players hated the fact that there were no fans because now they could hear the coaches shouting at them.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
before
why-
what you usually do, you just go play on the other wing. Then you just let that guy scream on that side.
That's why
just talking to himself.
That's how we
time.
want the FA Cup.
Yeah, yes,
Because I used to coach everyone from the sideline, telling guys, yo, come here, and you know, literally he was playing chess with them. We were daft. Like, those players were just daft. But that's what you can tell. And Pep also the same thing. No, there's someone who can see.
I know, but
and
I
pull them.
but I feel like
But if you're not that, and Ole is not that guy. Ole can't just be talking from the sideline. That's how I just ended up winning and we
but Pep's players can get pissed, bro. Okay, that gets
Anyways,
Yo,
we
bro,
digress.
moderator, you're failing.
I don't know anything. What question do you want to be asked? Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Brady.
So Tom Brady, what did he do? How many touchdowns do you think he scored?
He's 45.
That's actually not far off.
He scored 5. He scored 5 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, but they had 48.
He had 48 points.
See, man, I know this thing, man.
Oh, you know this thing, huh? Nice.
Like what,
That's
man?
fine. No.
Like what? My man knows this thing. Just throwing the egg.
Highlights of the weekend, NFL.
Well, Tom Brady scored 5 touchdowns.
Clearly not your
Kiari, don't at me, bro. Don't at me,
And
dude.
who were they two? Two of them were to who?
Dude, wrong. Don't at me, dude, please. I don't want to hear this nonsense. In other news, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He lost, but he was the best player on the field. So.
Was it though?
Yeah, I know Lamar Jackson is a video game, isn't he?
He is.
This dude, every time he runs run option, I'm afraid.
Play action. Oh, wait,
The run option, the run option,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I can imagine as a defense, you're loading the boxes, right? You're like, okay, it's a run option.
Yeah.
But this dude will just run around you. He doesn't need to go through.
Yep.
So he's just gonna run around you
And
and
the
go
worst thing
backflip
is
in
he
the
was
end
actually
zone.
walking yesterday and they don't have the like how many running backs?
Exactly.
The first 3 running backs.
So like, and you know it's disrespectful when a team is not using their running back. They're using their quarterback.
They're using the quarterback to run.
To run.
That's how crazy.
From the little NFL I saw this week, like that's crazy.
Like he's broken. But I mean,
He's a
otherwise,
chico.
he's a chico.
But
What do you
he
think?
finally managed to beat Mahomes once. I think he needed to break that down.
Yeah, he did. He was gonna get criticized, but I think it was a good game. I think both those defenses need to have a hard look in the mirror
Yeah.
and decide what they're going to do. Because I was watching Mahomes do little flickies and Travis Kelce's running 41 yards. How many meters is that? Like, I don't know how many meters that is. I'm bad at that. But he's running basically half the length of the field, and this dude's like 6'6" and he's not that fast.
Yeah.
So I mean, both these defenses need to have a hard look in the mirror and sort themselves out because. Okay, I think Kansas City is a bit more safe because you're not gonna have a quarterback flying out the pocket like that. Chris Jones will be able to edge people and get to the ball. But what do you think of the game?
I think I was more impressed about Lamar like being able to like bring the team together in the sense of now they're looking up to him, right? He's basically the offense. Like they've lost everyone basically. Like
Yeah.
It's hard for you to do a run option with no running back and still make it work, right? Who's the running back? Who's the play running back? Like it's just
Don't even know.
after J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards went down, it's just like who are we looking at?
Lamar
Like
Jackson.
even if I ran a play action with a running back, I'm not even gonna fall for it. I'll just go to Lamar. But he still made it work, right? So I mean the leadership is showing and trying to carry this team, like rally together and actually go through this tough period with no players. I think they have like 15 players who are injured and like 6 or 7 of them are in IR. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't think they'll win the division, but I think Lamar will make them competitive for sure.
Yeah. And then we were talking about I was telling you about my conundrum this week. So my Seahawks were playing the Titans, right? But I was 30 points down.
Doesn't sound encouraging.
I was 38 points down in what
Fantasy.
I was 39 points down in fantasy, right? Running backs normally get like on average at 18 is like a good day, right? I was 39 points down. But the guy I have was playing against my team. So I was really torn. At some point, like halftime, he didn't have much.
I triple captain people against Arsenal all the time.
I'd have to be down much. So
I feel nothing.
And the guy I'm playing against is convinced. He even went to sleep. He's like, I'll beat his legs. This dude, second half, went for 180 yards, scored 3 touchdowns, he got 44 points, and then won by 3.
Man like King, bro.
I won by 3. But I'm hurting inside because I'm like, my Seahawks lost.
But what's going on with this? What's your team doing? How is
The
he?
Seahawks.
How is he? Was it 186 yards in the second half?
184, no.
It was
Like the
total
whole
yards.
game, yeah. But
I'm trying to see how you can. I'm looking because
he
I'm
scored
thinking.
all his touchdowns came in the second half.
I'm thinking. I understand. Derrick Henry is a beast.
Yeah.
And I like where he was like number 3 on the NFL 100, and
Yeah.
he's a but your defense isn't like. Where's Bobby Wagner, guys? I want to know. This guy's supposed to be a pro. Like, can you talk?
No, he made mincemeat out of it. Like that whole. And the thing is, his second touchdown was a 60-yard run, right? So like, dude got the ball, and at some point, I'm just like, tackle. Like, why can't you tackle?
Like they're afraid. I'm like, your tackle stats on Madden are all 50.
Yeah.
What do you deserve 50?
No,
Madden
that's-
adjusters must just
You're
go.
also, guys, man, it's man to man.
Anyway, but that's good. Like,
sometimes.
yo, I think
It's not. You can do whatever you want. This is not rugby. You can clothesline him. Take him
I
out.
think Derrick Henry's speed is really
No.
underestimated. No, I'm not saying that we couldn't have done better. We could have, but that dude is actually fast.
Yeah, but yeah, that's unhappy. And then my Steelers.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, man. This season's done, yeah.
Were, TJ's
TJ's injured.
TJ's gone.
I feel like if Kerry is not here next time, I'll just like ask him to mic me.
And you're
They're like,
just
you're a
channel,
Nagelsmann. You're a Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann,
Nah,
Nagelsmann.
but real chat, like my Steelers are a bit. I try so hard to be patriot. I'm posting about the Steelers.
Yeah.
I want people to know.
Yeah.
And then
Welcome to being an Arsenal fan.
And then, it's
Stop
what it is. It's like having
posting.
Aubameyang, but he's too old. Big Ben needs to retire. He needs to go now.
Big Ben is a fridge. That dude is a fridge.
He is a
But
fraud. He's a fridge and a fraud.
Yeah, but he was getting tackled.
You know when he throws, it looks like now, like I'm looking at this arm.
Slow motion.
There's no power.
Someone threw a rock.
Exactly.
Literally.
It's
like
just
a
like
lob.
that. And I'm like, guys, the only time he just throws connects is when he throws these loopy things and Chase Claypool decides I'm gonna
The
bust
ball
someone.
goes like this.
That's how you know.
Ball
That's how
goes
you know
like
it's
this.
shady. That's how you know it's messed up, dude. So I think Big Ben next draft. I actually haven't looked at the next class. I don't know who's coming out. But whoever the best quarterback is, Tomlin. I know you've never had a losing season in your life, and I don't normally encourage these things. But TJ's out, and Minka thinks he's TJ, but he's not TJ.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we just need to tank. We go, listen, Big Ben. We're gonna play you. We're gonna lose anyway. Juju's also. I love Juju so much.
Juju's got a one.
But he's a fraud. He's a fraud. He sells those t-shirts. He's like your boy. He sells those t-shirts. He does those ads. Yo, but Juju's a fraud. What we need to do. This is what we need to do, right? Alright?
He's gone from being a soccer coach, now he's like American football.
Our defense is gone now because we were like, okay, we lost Dupree. Okay, we were like, well, we got TJ, he's the best defensive player in the league. We've got Minka, safety. We got Hayden, we got average cornerbacks. Now TJ's out and we lost Bud Dupree. We need a tank. We need to just be like, hey, defense, we're gonna concede points. And you go Chase, you're my new number 1.
Yeah.
Juju, I'm sorry, you're the number 2, and you'll probably start playing better. And you just go, you make it a run-centric offense. You go Najee.
Positives. What do you think about Najee?
What you see, remember earlier I said he's a top 5, even though he's never played those biased. He never played a snap.
Yeah.
He's top 5. You see what he did? You see what he did to
Yeah.
that guy? This white guy.
He was crazy. He was super.
He choke slammed him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he choke slammed. He choke slammed him.
What is this sport show?
This.
And he had the ball.
And he had the ball.
What?
He went there, I was coming to tackle him, and I was like, bro,
Nah.
sit down. And then
But
he kept
for
going.
in conclusion, honestly, I think the Steelers will make the playoffs.
Is the money that good?
No, it's not that great actually. Compared to
He's
the
a
rookies.
rookie.
Like on average, like just on average.
He's a rookie.
Like I'm just thinking about waking up in the morning knowing I'm going somewhere and somebody's going to hit me.
No, I think if the money's not worth getting hit.
Him, maybe in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Money will be good.
Depending on how, because the running back market can be funny.
Oh, those are the guys who have like a 3-year lifespan.
Yeah.
So you just pick them and die.
Yeah.
It's like
Narcos.
narcos.
Pick them in the 6th round.
Question: if you pick any quarterback to be you, like when Big Ben is out, who would you pick?
What do you mean?
Like in the league?
In the league?
Someone who's going to be available. I mean, forget the.
Oh, realistically.
Yeah, realistically.
I think. You see, what you need. I was actually watching. I'm gonna reference my guy Max Kellerman. Love you in the first day, bro. Not that you're gonna watch this.
Hey, who told you?
but I think
NFL in Africa is actually.
I was
big
watching.
thing now,
Yeah, Oh yeah, true.
They're trying to penetrate this market.
I was watching it was Keyshawn, Jale,
KJ
and
Max
Max.
now on the show.
And they were actually talking about like there's a quarter. They've actually classified a quarterback market where you've got those guys that are revivable. That you get like the revival guys that you can bench if they play well. So ideally like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. And
I won't get his name right.
Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
But no, I would look at wild cards. I think Cam Newton's always someone you go and you check him out because he can offer something different. He offers mobility. I would always look at. I don't know who the Patriots quarterback backup is, but I think it's Stidler, isn't it?
Oh, behind Mark Jones?
Yeah, Jason Stidler. What's his name? Jason Stidler. But I would always look at the Patriots backup because Belichick's good at. And I would think soon enough, because Garoppolo did not have a great game.
And this is probably his last season.
And this is probably his last season. I'm looking at Jimmy G. I'm not gonna call him by his nickname. Am I allowed to? This is rated.
Just say
porn star Jimmy.
Yeah, porn
star Jimmy.
My man.
My guy.
My
brother.
That's the way to advertise
My
yourself.
brother. Amen.
You just like they're selling the t-shirts.
Exactly.
But you know amongst those buyers, you know who's coming from the other source. That's marketing.
That's marketing. Porn star Jimmy.
That's wild.
I would actually go out and I would go get porn star Jimmy because he's someone. I'm sorry, man. I want you to be my quarterback, but
first of all, you have to put that in the context.
In the context.
Yeah, like
I will explain that.
Hey, off camera.
Oh,
but yeah.
Oh shit.
I would get Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll be. I think he's got like 2 years running. His contract's not so friendly. I understand, but we're not going to be a bad team. So I think you just need someone who can game manage, and I think Mike Tomlin is a very good coach.
Yeah.
And I think our defense is a bit beastly. So if you could carry the 49ers to a Super Bowl with Nick Bosa and Richard Sherman, I think with TJ Watt and these guys, you can carry. So ideally Jimmy Garoppolo, then you can draft someone in the second, third round to group. Because he's also got 27 anyway, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a wrap.
Alright, let's
Back to the studio.